and welcome back to Mega Man 11. So, Dr. Wily has shown himself. He gave us his Gear Fortress's address because we really ticked him off by using the double gear system. Hey, wait a minute, what? Hey, wait a minute, you can't just laugh, hold up! Hey, Wily, you didn't do the eyebrow thing! Laughing isn't a substitute! 0 out of 10, worst Mega Man game, they don't know what the fans want. Anyway, so, Gear Fortress. Probably the shortest and easiest Wily Fortress in the entire Mega Man series. I say this despite the fact that Stage 1 took me a while to record. I was doing it on and off, it's not like I was playing every day or anything, but it took me a hot minute, and even then that's really more because of the boss rather than the stage. The stage is tough, but fun. So, in terms of the stages themselves, though, they're pretty good. I like them well enough. Though at the same time, like, Mega Man 10, if only for the intro stage, had me singing the praises of Mega Man 10, which I did not otherwise care for. But the whole castle was pretty good. Other than the fact that they did the impossible and made a boss called Crab Puncher terrible. Don't know how they did that, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. So this stage is pretty good. Obviously, definitely not quite the hard-hitting stage as the beginning of 10, but I think this one does a pretty good job of letting you utilize just about all of the Robot Master weapons. However, Acid Barrier is pretty much the one that shines in this stage due to the type of platforming you have to do. So last time, I think I said something like, oh, this is a really good weapon for just ramming into enemies. No, I misspoke. I'm treating this like any other barrier. Acid Barrier works a little bit differently. So first off, it has two different ways of dismissing. First off, if you... No, I'm just gonna skip this Yoku block section, because fuck this. I never even bothered memorizing the Yoku block section, I just memorized where to skip it. Anyway, though, yeah, like, the Acid Barrier will eventually disappear if too much time goes by, but it'll also disappear if you use it a bunch. However, the cool thing about it is that it does surround Mega Man at all times. It gets smaller overall the more you use it, however, it will always be surrounding him. But again, it's not as good for ramming as I might have made it seem. That was an accident. It's great for projectiles, though, because, like, this section goes from being nightmarish to pretty easy. All you have to do is pay attention to when the shield disappears. Mega Man will start flashing when that's about to happen, so you can just throw the shield on again. My go-to was just, if I saw Mega Man flashing, change to speed gear, throw up another Acid Barrier, keep going, don't stop. Another Yoku block section that I just skipped, because fuck this. But anyway, yeah, Acid Barrier is very good, and I don't know how much I would have used it for most of the game, given the way I platform, but it's insanely useful here. Like, you really want Acid Barrier to get you through this without much issue. Otherwise, though, if you have bigger enemies that are harder to take down, I wouldn't really suggest using Acid Barriers like projectile for that. Again, barrier gets smaller if you use it, but it's not a huge deal. Also, one doesn't affect the other. Like, if you shoot a bunch, you will not then have, like, 2 seconds left to use the Acid Barrier, nor does it get smaller over time, giving you fewer shots to use. Both are separate. You just have to bear in mind where and when you use it. Alright, so once we erase you, I definitely want to refill this weapon because it is the boss's weakness, and you absolutely want this, or you're going to be on this one for a while. So of course this is a Wily Fortress. You can probably guess that means Yellow Devil, so I did a really good job on the stage, so I hope you'll forgive my lackluster performance with Yellow Devil, but I was never really able to get the confidence for this one. Also, like, the motion of this one, I won't say made me motion sick, but it throws me off a little bit. I don't like looking at it. And especially when he's already in the room, I find it really hard to dodge his projectiles. And I guess it's just the less space involved. So yeah, Yellow Devil has speed gear, and when he does that, The battle technically gets shorter, because you can then just attack that right there. The one with the eye, of course, is the weakness. I'm gonna use an E-Tank right here. I'm just gonna say it now, I use a second. I really shouldn't have needed to. Like, when I was doing this, I knew I could see, like, if I just moved to the left more, I could have done this without having to use 2 whole E-Tanks. Actually, I didn't even need to use that second E-Tank, that was just for safety. I would have died if I hadn't used it, but yeah, no, like... I like the stage, but the stage plus the boss is kind of frustrating. And since, you know, I was at this one for a while, okay? I didn't really want to do the stage anymore. And I didn't have to. Didn't have to stick with it because my rules say, hey, Dingus, you can let yourself get hit, it's fine. Just don't die and you're good. Alright, so the cool thing about the Wily Castle in this game is that you can actually leave and shop and save, and not only will that save your place in the castle, if you want to, you can replay the stages in the Wily Castle. It doesn't treat it as this, like, hugely special thing, and I can see how that would rub people the wrong way. You know, I'm guessing somebody must like the fact that, like, it's a whole endurance test. I never liked that aspect of Wily Castle, though. Ever since the beginning, I said, what the heck is that thing supposed to be? Oh, well, I'm sure it's not important. Anyway, yeah, as I said, I never cared for the fact that you have to do all Wily Castles with just the same special meter and all that. It's just not the type of difficulty I care for. Thankfully, I've never had to do it like that. I mean, what? Anyway, though, Stage 2 is so much easier than Stage 1, though it did take me a few practice attempts. I actually didn't use my practice file for this one, for any of the endgame. I basically just said, screw it, I'm just gonna throw myself against the wall again and again, and just, until I get something I'm satisfied with, I'm just gonna keep going for it, instead of doing a separate thing. I did realize that when I remembered, oh yeah, Yellow Devil's in this game, I don't want to have to do that more than once. Once successfully, anyway. Oh yeah, of course, I should mention, this is a thing that's chasing you. It will kill you in one hit, so don't get caught. Speed gear, of course, is incredibly helpful if you've got the upgrade, though I think Stage 1 actually showcases a, like, good example of why you might not always want that particular upgrade, because it had one of those spike drop sections, and honestly, Mega Man moving at slow speed is actually way more helpful for those than having him move at normal speed with speed gear. Honestly, like, if you want to just unequip that for that stage, it's not a huge deal. I'd say the biggest thing is, like, it does make the platforming section a little bit slower, but whatever. Technically speaking, you can unequip in the middle of a stage. I just find that kind of tedious, and I don't like doing it, so I don't. Anyway, though, yeah, this is a bit more of a fighty stage. So we're going to be seeing a lot of the hard-hitting weapons, like this good old ice tornado that I can just completely destroy a tower of enemies with. Throwing fireballs is also incredibly helpful. As you might have noticed, power gear for this particular mini-boss that I killed a while back and will kill again, incredible. Yeah, that's just a one cycle. He has like a mouth weakness that he can also fire from. Here's the thing, though. Like, I destroyed the eye so quickly that the mouth opened and then was immediately destroyed, so I would suggest saving fire for those, mainly. Especially for later in the stage. Try not to waste it too much. Use M-tanks if you really want, or W-tanks if you really want to. You can only equip one, or you can only have one M-tank, so maybe don't just use that willy-nilly. Seems like a poor idea. But yeah, being able to dash is really, well, that was dumb, really useful for this section in conjunction with speed gear. Again, power gear is great for that. That's why you don't want to waste your fire for any other part of the stage, because if you don't have it for this stuff, yeah, there's a one-hit kill following you from behind. I wouldn't suggest waiting for it. Don't give it any time to catch up to you. It's not like it can rubber band, just fucking book it. Dash, fire, you're good. Oh, and of course these guys are weak to having blocks dropped on their head, which, same dude, same. This is actually a pretty good case for Power Gear, I will say. Probably the best case for Power Gear other than Yellow Devil himself. Which, of course, I don't think I explicitly called it out, but yeah, no. Power Gear, Bomb, Yellow Devil dies quicker than he would. I only needed to face the separation attack a few times because of it, and in fact, I would have had to face it less if I hadn't fricked it. If I had just not made mistakes, I could have just one-cycled him. He would have died as a tiny Yellow Devil. Just a little dude. He's a little birthday boy. It was his birthday. That was just dumb. You can tell I hadn't practiced this to perfection in that it is extremely not perfect. It is, in fact, a bit sloppy. This next boss isn't anywhere near as hard as Yellow Devil. But it's not a gimme either, so take it seriously. Wait, I don't think we're supposed to see you until Mega Man Zero. Oh well. Anyway, so this guy's weak to the rubber balls. Just hit him with these squeaky little balls and then hit the center bit. He'll also start teleporting around and then use, I think that's Power Gear? Yeah, that would make sense if that were Power Gear, because that's just big lasers. If you don't stupidly stand in place, it's actually very easy to dodge those. Just be in a spot, and when he looks like he's about to aim, move. Also, that's a cool finisher. Alright, so yeah, that is Stage 2. Like I said, the stage and the boss are way easier than Stage 1. I did really like playing Stage 1, though. That was actually really fun to practice. Also, was that like a no-hit run before the boss on that one? I think it was. Oh, I completely forgot to mention, what was the second boss's name? That was Mavern. Alright, so there you go. That guy's name is Mavern. I will never remember that because it's just some rando sphere that you shoot with rubber balls, but I made sure to bring it up beforehand. And then almost didn't use it.
And there you have it! Part complete!
Alright, anyway though, just figured I'd buy that for the heck of it. Not even gonna use it, but I'll have it anyway. Gonna get a couple of W tanks, cause I've needed those. And that is actually it for the first half of the Gear Fortress. Next time, we go to the very end and defeat Wily one more time in the Classic Series.